On every question of construction, let us carry ourselves back to the time when the Constitution was adopted, recollect the spirit manifested in the debates, and instead of trying what meaning may be squeezed out of the text or invented against it, conform to the probable one in which it was passed. That is from the writings of Thomas Jefferson, which is basically saying that instead of interpreting your own version of the Constitution, think back to whenever it was actually written. Whenever it was actually written, what were they thinking? What did they mean? And a lot of these men were pretty plain spoken. They meant what they said. So, again, instead of trying what meaning may be squeezed out of the text or invented against it, conform to the probable one in which it was passed. What did they probably mean whenever they said this? Probably exactly that. So then that brings me to the question of how many of us actually remember the Constitution, what it says? Because I forget a lot. So then, why not go ahead and go through the Constitution of the United States? We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, not posterity, my mistake. Posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. That's the opening bit. Article 1, Section 1. All legislative powers herein granted shall be vested in a Congress of the United States, which shall consist of a Senate and House of Representatives. That seems pretty, self-explanatory. All legislative powers herein or hereby granted shall be vested in a Congress of the United States, which shall consist of a Senate and House of Representatives. So, Section 2, the House of Representatives shall be composed of members chosen every second year by the people of the several states, and the electors in each state shall have the qualifications requisite for electors of the most numerous branch of the state legislature. No person shall be a representative who shall not have attained the age of 25 years, and have been 7 years a citizen of the United States, and who shall not, when elected, be an inhabitant of that state in which he shall be chosen. So let's see, no person shall be a representative who is not at least 25 years of age, at least 7 years a citizen of the United States of America, and the person cannot be a representative if they are not, when elected, and be an inhabitant of the state in which they are chosen to represent. Representatives and direct taxes shall be apportioned among the several states, which may be included within this union, according to their respective numbers, which shall be determined by adding the whole number of free persons, including those bound to service for a term of years, which is the indentured servitude or indentured slavery, and excluding the Indians not taxed, and 3/5 of all other persons. That was changed by Section 2 of the 14th Amendment. The actual enumeration shall be made within 3 years after the first meeting of the Congress of the United States, and within every subsequent term of 10 years, in such manner as they shall by law direct. The number of representatives shall not exceed 1 for every 30,000, but each state shall have at least 1 representative, and until such enumeration shall be made, the state of New Hampshire shall be entitled to choose 3, Massachusetts 8, Rhode Island and Providence plantations 1, Connecticut 5, New York 6, New Jersey 4, Pennsylvania 8, Delaware 1, Maryland 6, Virginia 10, North Carolina 5, South Carolina 5, and Georgia 3. When vacancies happen in the representation from any state, the executive authority thereof shall issue rights of election to fill such vacancies. The House of Representatives shall choose their Speaker and other officers, and shall have the sole power of impeachment. So only the House of Representatives can actually do the impeachment proceedings. The Senate can't start it. Only the House of Representatives. Water. Section 3 of Article 1. The Senate of the United States shall be composed of 2 senators from each state, chosen by the legislature thereof, which was changed by the 17th Amendment, for 6 years, and each senator shall have 1 vote. Immediately after they shall be assembled in consequence of the first election, they shall be divided as equally as may be into 3 classes. The seats of the senators of the first class shall be vacated at the expiration of the second year of the second class, and the expiration of the 4th year, and of the third class at the expiration of the 6th year, so that 1/3 may be chosen every second year. And if vacancies happen by resignation or otherwise during the recess of the legislature of any state, the executive thereof may make temporary appointments until the next meeting of the legislature, which shall then fill such vacancies. That was also changed by the 17th Amendment. No person shall be a senator who shall not have attained to the age of 30 years, and been 9 years a citizen of the United States, and who shall not, when elected, be an inhabitant of that state for which he shall be chosen. So again, no person shall be a senator who is not at least 30 years of age, has been a citizen for at least 9 years of the United States of America, and the person must be living in the state upon which they are chosen to represent when elected. So, the Vice President of the United States shall be President of the Senate, but shall have no vote unless they be equally divided. So the Vice President would basically be the tiebreaker. The Senate shall choose their other officers, and also a President pro tempore in the absence of the Vice President, or when he shall exercise the office of the President of the United States. The Senate shall have the sole power to try all impeachments. When sitting for that purpose, they shall be on oath or affirmation. When the President of the United States is tried, the Chief Justice shall preside, and no person shall be convicted without the concurrence of 2/3 of the members present. So while the House of Representatives have the sole power of impeachment, which is to go ahead and start the impeachment proceedings, the Senate has the power to try said impeachment. And then when the President of the United States is tried, the Chief Justice shall be the one presiding over the trial. But no person shall be convicted without the concurrence or the majority vote of 2/3 of the members present. Judgment in cases of impeachment shall not extend further than to remove from office and disqualification to hold and enjoy any office of honor, trust, and profit under the United States, but the party convicted shall nevertheless be liable and subject to indictment, trial, judgment, and punishment according to law. So I'm going to go ahead and stop right there at Article 1, the end of Article 1, Section 3. Next time, though, I will go ahead and start reading Section 4 through 6. Actually, I'll read Section 4 through 7. and then finish up Article 1 another time. But again, that is the Constitution of the United States. And as Thomas Jefferson wrote, when interpreting the United States Constitution, don't make something up. Don't try and twist it to suit your needs or your design. Instead, think back upon the people who wrote it, when it was written, and try to think what it is that they intended, what they meant by them writing down what they've written. Yeah, some of the language is actually quite confusing, even for me, especially for me, actually. Excuse me. But, it's not so overwhelmingly confusing that you can't understand what's actually being said when you give it thought. For now, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it there. And we'll discuss the rest more next time.